So today we're obviously gathered for some rather somber news, and one of the things that we're going to discuss today is the safety of our school community and our students is so important to the Santa Rosa Police Department, to our Santa Rosa School District, and certainly to our parents and community. I'll briefly go through a summary of what occurred today. So this morning at approximately 11:11, the Santa Rosa Police Department received 911 calls reporting a school fight here on the campus at Montgomery High School, located at 1250 Hammond Drive. Officers from the Santa Rosa Police Department arrived on the scene within 4 minutes. So at 11:15, uniformed Santa Rosa police officers were on the scene and began the initial investigation. And what that investigation determined is that two juniors, which are students here at Montgomery High School, entered a classroom. They weren't students in this particular classroom. It was an art classroom. They entered the classroom and engaged in a physical altercation with the student who was in the classroom. That was a freshman student. All three of them were male students here at the campus. The initial fight breaks out. The school, there were 27 students which are inside that classroom. There was one teacher and 3 teacher aides. So there were 31 individuals inside that classroom. The fight breaks out, physical altercation, and the teachers immediately jump into action and they break up the initial fight. Unfortunately, moments later, the fight continued, and at that point, the student who was inside the classroom produced a knife. The knife was described as a folding knife with a black handle. It had a blade of approximately 4 to 5 inches. That student produced a knife and started engaging in the 2 students who had come into the classroom. Both those students were stabbed. One of those students received what preliminary appears to be 3 stab wounds to his upper body. One student received 1 stab wound to his left hand. Both those students left the classroom, started to assess their injuries, and walked to the school office here and engaged with the school nurse. Our officers immediately contacted them, and both the students were alert and conscious and were providing initial statements. Our medical staff arrived here on the scene and quickly started treating the students, and they were transported to a local hospital. Unfortunately, one of the students, who's a 16-year-old male and a juvenile here, or a junior here at the Monty campus, passed away at that hospital. The other student is being treated for his injuries and is expected to survive. As this initial investigation was going on, the officers in the scene determined that the student who had stabbed the 2 other students had fled heading in a northeast direction. We continued to get officers examining the campus. We had 36 Santa Rosa officers respond to this incident and started combing the area. We had mutual aid assistance from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, and the Sonoma County's helicopter Henry 1 aided in our search. We eventually got witnesses from St. Eugene's Cathedral, which reported that they had seen a student or a young man hiding in the creek behind the St. Eugene's Cathedral campus. Our officers scoured that area and were able to locate a 15-year-old juvenile who was hiding in the creek bed there, who was laying down on his stomach, trying to conceal himself. Officers slowed down. They used restraint. They didn't use any force, and they were safely able to take this young man into custody. The young man did not have any weapons in his possession. Our officers are still scouring the area looking for the knife which was used in this assault. Obviously, this is an ongoing investigation, and we're going to be spending a lot of resources interviewing the 31 students and the teachers who were in the class, working with our school campus, and the Santa Rosa Police Department is ensuring that when the school does return to their full duties here at the school campus, that we'll have officers here in the morning to be able to make sure that our students and their parents understand that we have a safe campus here in the Santa Rosa campus. I'm going to turn it over to our school superintendent, Anna Trinell, and she's going to talk about the school's response, and then we can both answer some questions and get a little bit more with some of the specifics that you may have. So I'll turn it over to Anna.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. I'd like to acknowledge Stephanie Manieri, our school board president, and Omar Medina, our school board vice president, who are here as well. This is truly a sad day. The tragedy that happened here today is heartbreaking. Our thoughts are with the students involved, their families, friends, classmates, and staff of Montgomery High School. Right now, our focus is on meeting the immediate physical and emotional needs of our students and staff. I want to thank the many emergency responders who assisted at Montgomery High School today, including Santa Rosa Police Department and the Sonoma County Office of Education. I also want to acknowledge the staff here at Montgomery who worked quickly to ensure that our campus followed emergency protocols in order to keep students and staff safe. This investigation, as you have heard, is ongoing. We will be sharing more information about whether Montgomery will be open tomorrow by 6 p.m. this evening.
All right, so now we'll take a few minutes of questions about any more specific details, but understanding this is still a very preliminary investigation. We provided some of the basic information that we have, but I'll take some questions.
Chief, can you describe more what treatment was provided to the child who died on campus before the
Very preliminary, the officers arrived on the scene, assessed the student, and saw that he had 3 stab wounds to the upper body. They provided what we call a chest seal to be able to seal that wound, and immediately the medical providers came on and transported him to the hospital, and I don't have any more details on that.
I didn't hear you. A chest what?
Chest seal.
Do we know why the 2 targeted the 3rd kid?
It's very early in the investigation, but it appears that there had been some previous altercations between these students. That'll be one of the things that our investigators are looking into, and we're looking for students that may have information about that to come forward to the Santa Rosa Police Department. Another thing that we're seeking is any videos that may have students may have recorded of this incident that they were able to do. So we encourage any students or parents that become aware of videos to contact the Santa Rosa Police Department. You can contact our violent crimes team at 707-543-3590 and to be able to contact our violent crime detectives, and we are certainly looking for any video evidence from this case.
Chief,